Isn't it beautiful, guys? Like, I don't think we realize how beautiful this map really is. This is the starting location in season 1 of this chapter, and so much, I mean, it changed, but not drastically. Like, right now, it's kinda crummy looking because of all the orange and corruption, but, it's really beautiful. And as I was saying, like, steamy stacks you can still see. You can see, like, all the way to the White House over there. You got Sludgy over there, Misty. It's so beautiful, and I think we just gotta take a moment to appreciate how, much memories and how much work has gone into this map. And we realize, um, we can see some memories from this point of view. We got the giant mothership from last season. We got the Spire Towers from season 6. There really isn't much left from season 5, sadly. Season 4, there isn't much left of either. Yeah, I guess there really isn't any locations left from any of the other seasons. I guess it has changed a bit. Right here we got the weather station. I didn't land here too much. I know, this is Cypher PK's location here, but I didn't land here too much. But it's a good, nice little POI in between like Camp Cod and Caddy here. Which Caddy, it was a fun location. Season 3 is when this showed up here, and I remember everyone dropped here because one, it had mats and like all those pallets. It had the boss here, Kit. I believe it was Kit. Yeah, it was Kit who was here, and he dropped the mythic charge shotgun and the mythic shockwave launcher. Oh, it was a fun POI, man. It was a fun POI. And then as the season went away, it kind of just remained the same. Nothing has really changed here, but I still think it just remains as like a staple of how popular this place was. There was definitely some crazy fights here, and oh man, the memories is flowing into my head right now. It's cool. It is a cool little POI. And before even Caddy Corner, it was just that little box factory. It had Meowscles when he got kicked out of the yacht. His freaking own yacht. Deadpool kicked him out and put him in a box factory. Like, poor Meowscles, man. That was sad. But here we got a mystery that has been waiting to be unveiled for seasons. Like 2 years we've been waiting to see what was inside. Oh no, IO guards. I really don't want to fight you now. Oh man, those IO guards. I'm not gonna miss those guys. I can go on about how terrible those things are. But this bunker finally revealed. Very underwhelming in my opinion. Maybe something will come out of it in the event, but for seasons everyone was just digging up leaks, and like whenever we found like one little thing kind of related to the bunker, would like jump on that, like, oh yes, let's go, the bunker's gonna open soon, we're gonna find out there's a giant monster, or even the 0 points underneath it when we didn't know where the 0 point was. That was fun. That was a good time. But now it's unveiled, and yeah, Sloan's IO facility is there, and we got yet to see what it does. I mean, maybe we'll find out in the event, but let's take a moment just to look how corrupted the damn map is right now. I swear it was prettier, guys. I mean, I know in the beginning I was saying how pretty this map is. It is, but right now, just leading up to the event, it's just, Cube Queen's doing some madness, She's really going all out for this, and I don't think we'll be seeing, what was I going with that? Because yeah, we definitely aren't seeing our map. We're going to chapter 3, and that's why I'm doing this video, is because I'm gonna miss this place. Good old retail row. I mean, ain't much to say about it, because it's been with us forever. It's been with us since chapter. Oh my God, you wolves! All right, I'm not gonna miss you guys either. I was gonna give you guys some credit, but since you guys are chasing me down, I feel free not to talk about you. When did they get so fast, man? I just want to take... Oh my... Yeah, you better run off there. It's... Retail Row is just a staple of Fortnite, and I honestly don't see it coming in Chapter 3, because that would be... If they do, that would be crazy, but that would be 3 chapters this POI has, you know, lasted, and honestly, it hasn't changed much. Like, I couldn't even tell you anything that's different from this retail row from the last one. It's relatively the same, and it's always just a god POI in my opinion. Nothing beats retail like in its fights. This is one of my main landing drops. You know, a lot of fights going on in that building. This is my main drop right here. Oh man, the amount of times I just, you know, freaking drop, I don't get a gun, and then I gotta do that parkour to get up there to, I mean, I know I could destroy it, but, you know, someone doesn't know you're up there, you know, and it's kind of funny when you drop on them. It's a good POI. I'm really gonna miss retail. I don't see it coming back, but here, oh, here we have one of the most, in my opinion, iconic POIs in the game, the Grotto. We never seen anything like this ever in Fortnite, and when this dropped, this was everyone's landing spot. Like, I think everyone's favorite landing spot. I mean, the agency was pretty close, and we'll get there when I talk about the agency, but this POI was a bunker underground. It had a awesome boss, Brutus. Oh, nothing was scarier when you're fighting a lot of people, and then you wipe them all out, but you need to find Brutus because you want to get in the vault key card. So you're literally looking for Brutus. You can hear him. You turn a corner, and Brutus is whipping out his minigun. Oh, that was some scary times there, but that was so much fun. I miss the Grotto. I really wish they would have done something like after it got flooded. Obviously, you can see they could have just reverted it or converted it into something else, and they didn't. I really hope to see a POI similar to this on Chapter 3, because this is just so. This was so cool. The fights here were so unique. Nothing was like it. It had the mythics. It had miniguns. You know, like the best guns in the game. It had a helicopter that you could fly out of here with. A vault where you can just get stacked. You know, you had the wind turbine where you could fly out, go to rush dirty or wherever retail. Such a cool POI. Oh man, I can go on for days and how many memories I've had here. It's truly been a good season. Season 2, man. Season 2 is my favorite season of Fortnite. Of the chapter at least. Of the chapter, it's definitely my favorite. Just the POIs, the mythics, just everything about it. The story too is just so good. I don't know, and I really grinded that season. It's a good season. We'll keep going on and seeing other POIs, but oh, just memories are coming back, guys. Man, this is just sad. It's sad. All right, Dirty Docks. You know, nothing has, I don't think, ever changed here. I don't think it's been touched. Yeah, I don't think it's changed at all. I mean, yeah, it has this giant UFO right next to it right now, but that's not touching Dirty. It's remained the same throughout the season, and you know, it wasn't heavily dropped, and it was kind of just that average location. Maybe like people just go out when they're at the end of the bus AFK. Maybe first drop, but it's wasn't heavily landed at. But I do respect Dirty, and I landed there for like arena sometimes, and the fights here were kind of not fun because you just get the people shooting from the mountains down at you, and that was kind of crazy. And sometimes fighting in these buildings are kind of weird because they have such weird building grid, or the builds are not part of the building grid. It's kind of a funky location, especially those containers and stuff. But it's a cool looking POI for sure, and I'm gonna miss it, you know. And the people going up there, people knock down the cranes and they die. Fun times. Or they land on the chests that I believe are like on the cranes, and then they jump and fall. Good times, good times. But yeah, it's just an average location and nothing much to say. It hasn't changed, and it was good. It did us good. Dirty, you'll be going down, man. You'll be going down. We won't be seeing you. Well, we might. You know, I'm not gonna say we won't see any POIs because you never know if any. Oh, llama. I'm gonna miss. Llama should remain. Llama should be around. You never know if we see any Chapter 2 POIs going to the Chapter 3 map, or even better, Chapter 1 POIs on the Chapter 3 map. Here we come into Steamy, one of the Yeah, I would say one of the most unique POI too, but this one is just different. Obviously, Steamy was not destroyed like this until this season happened, but this used to be a big building. I always landed through that door, dropped down, got all the loot. I knew Steamy in and out, and I've landed Steamy quite a lot actually. I don't know why, or something I just love about it. And that cube mystery, we've been trying to solve that. Like, are they harvesting the cube energy? Like, what are they doing? But now I think we know, since, you know, one of the cubes rose up, got out, went to the middle, and it's not going to ruin our map. But Steamy, great POI. I loved fighting here, honestly. Apart when people just run away and go fly in the stacks, but oh, the annoying people that would sit up on. I'm not gonna lie, I did it myself. You know, a few times. How can you? It's a good competitive advantage. You go sit up on top of the stacks there, and bam, you just shoot down on people. And what are they gonna do? Shoot back? Because you can just, you know, fly away or do whatever. It's a good POI, and fighting in these buildings was fun. Like, it's a good POI for the building grid, very good, because it's just all like square. So you place a build, you can do a lot of edits, and there's strategic builds that you can place. And I'm gonna miss Steamy, honestly. Oh, purple bird. I remember when this place was flooded. I believe the stacks were still like a thing. Like, I believe the water was still not, you know, the water wasn't tall as the stacks, so you could like still end in the stacks, but I don't think you can loot them. It's kind of funny. I don't know why that just popped in my head. But I'll miss Steamy for sure. It was one of my landing spots, and it's kind of sad to say like your landing spot's going away and goodbye to it. I don't know. It's hard. For memory's sake, let's just take one last fly inside the stacks and fly to our next location. Also, can we talk about how sick this glider is? Like, it's crazy. Here we have our first, I think, unnamed. Nope, we went to the Grotto, which used to be named, but we have our first unnamed POI on the list, and this is the Orchard. And I'm putting this. It's not a list. I'm just going over the map, but I'm not going every single POI like mini stuff. I'm not. This is pretty big to me, and that's why I'm putting it on here. The Orchard. I couldn't tell you how many times I landed. I wish I can just pull up a map or something, or of the thermal. I don't know where I'm going with it, but just how many times I've landed here, because it's got to be insane. This is like my location too. Like, I think out of every place in the map, this is the place I've landed the most. I truly do think that. It's got to be a close contender with one other POI that we haven't got to, but oh, Orchard is gonna be sad to go. Oh. It was kind of annoying to fight here, not gonna lie, because typically people land at the market over there, and I always land at the house. So when me and my friends would land here, I'd usually land here in duos. He would land there, and then if like one of us have people, or you know, and it'd be hard for us to get over to each other and fight. And then a lot of people just camped on top of the barn here, or just the fights always met at the barn. From like getting done looting the two other POIs, or POIs like houses and market. I guess you got the new Tomato Head from Season 5. Hey, that's something that remained from Season 5. You got Tomato Head from Season 5, and the Pizza Pit. And that kind of added on to the Orchard a little bit, and it's kind of a nice addition. It's good to see a remain of Tomato Town show up. But I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna really miss this. This is it right here. Like, I'm not gonna see the Orchard anymore, and I can't believe I'm saying that. That's just, I can't believe I'm not gonna be seeing the Orchard anymore. I'm really gonna miss it. Here we have Craigie. I landed here quite a bit. I always landed this house right here, in fact. Such a good. I always landed the roof, broke down, just kept going down. It's a good little POI. I don't know. So I like the levels of Craigie. You got these top houses here, and then it goes to like the main level, and then it goes down to there. It's kind of annoying from people shooting top the mountain, which you can't see because of the bubble. But it's a good POI. I loved Craigie. It's really nice. And you got the main building, Fish Sticks, where, you know, you had the chug barrels all in here. That's where everyone went for, to get 100 health. Gotta get back in the circle here to see it. fights in here were kind of, oh, I did not like the fights in here, to be honest. I like the fights on the outside because it was just kind of peeking over these rooftops and just beaming down at people. I don't know, something about it. For some reason, I think I've always had most of my fights be right at this, I think it's like a fishing building. It's always been right here, or at that one, too, and I don't know why. But let's move on from Craigie here, and I know I didn't give much love and respect to Craigie, but I truly do like Craigie, and there's a lot of memories there for sure. Pleasant Park, alright, well here's a POI that, you know, is on the same level as retail of being in the map, or in the game forever. It's just a, I can't say it's been the same because in Season 4 it did become Doom's domain and the middle changed to like a giant statue of Doom, and then the soccer field opened up. Oh, that was a fun time actually. That was a good point of Pleasant. I don't know. And then oh yeah, we had the giant mansion right there as well. That was cool. And then it got reverted back to that crappy house. But yeah, the Pleasant Park, it's been in the game with us forever, and I again don't see it coming back, and this I think will be the last time we see Pleasant Park, and that's hard because Pleasant Park is iconic. Pleasant Park is iconic. Even in Chapter 1 everyone went to Pleasant Park. In Chapter 2 everyone went at Pleasant Park, and maybe we'll see it, but I doubt it. And my main house landing spot, right? My main house landing spot. Yeah, I guess so, because every place here is a house. I went to that house, and I went on top of the roof, broke down, got the chest, if there was one, and then kept going down. It only had one chest in the house, but you know what? Oh wait, two chests, sorry, two chests, I think. I don't even know my own landing location. What the heck am I... Mitchell, get a hold of yourself, buddy. But though, then I'd push just wherever my friends were fighting at, and it's good times, and I don't know, a lot of people don't have anything bad to say. I mean, it's a very open POI. That's kind of the only bad thing I'd say about Pleasant is you can't really get away, you know, from hiding because it's just open. You can see across the, you know, you can see from over there to here and just shoot at people. It's kind of what I like about it though. It's just nice to fight at. Just for old time's sake, I'm just gonna walk through my house one more time. I don't know why. I just, man, it's gonna be different not landing at Pleasant Park. I don't know. I went to play Pleasant Park quite a lot, not as much as like some of the other POIs I mentioned, but it's just iconic. I don't know. It's just, I'm walking through my house one last time. I don't know. That's just kind of hitting me hard. Here we got a POI I strongly don't like, but it's quite beautiful if you take apart from the fact of fighting here and everything else. It's a very gorgeous looking POI. They did a very good job at it. It's definitely unique. Like there's nothing like this ever in the game. Having these giant indestructible walls and having like a containment center in the inside. It reminds me of like Jurassic World. I don't know why. But yeah, Stealthy is quite beautiful, and like I said, I did not like fighting here. There's just too much grass and coverage for people to hide in, and then when people, if you weren't on top of these walls and you were inside there, you're just getting beamed at. It just wasn't fun to fight at, in my opinion. I did not like coming here. It's just, the only thing about it is it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And I know the IO base kind of came in after a bit and is in the middle, which upgraded it, but still nothing I would land it. But you guys remember before, this house just reminded me, you guys remember before Stealthy, the just little houses that were here? Oh man, like I think it was called Homely Hills. I honestly kind of landed there, not gonna lie. It's just some nice, like, unpopular POIs that you have no people, but you can get some nice loot just by, you know, going around the houses. And I think this is the only one that remains, is this one right here. Oh, Homely. Which is kind of sad that Stealthy just kind of dropped in and took over. Oh yeah, and I can't forget about Predator. This is Predator POI. Oh, it's Season 5. Predator dropped. Oh my god. I have a video. It's pretty funny. Like the memories behind Predator. Oh, my friend wanted Predator so bad. It's Predator was annoying because he went invisible, and that was kind of the whole staple of Stealthy, and when Stealthy was popular, when Predator arrived. But yeah, I don't think I'll be missing Stealthy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's cool, but I think the Chapter 3 map's gonna look beautiful all around. So I don't think I'm gonna miss this place at all. This was a cool little addition, and this has remained from season 1 of the chapter. It's not even changed in the slightest. It's the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is, I don't know, it's not popular. Like, people do not land at the lighthouse. Maybe someone, you know. I'm not gonna say that. It's not popular though, but it's a staple, if that makes sense. Like, if I remember something from chapter 2. I don't know why, but I'm gonna remember the lighthouse, even though I personally never landed here. It's just, I think because from that first image of the map, we saw the lighthouse, and it's kind of just remained throughout, like that image staple of the lighthouse. I think it's called Waki's lighthouse. But I don't know. It's a cool little addition. It's nice. I hope we kind of see another lighthouse in chapter 3. Okay. I don't even know if I want to talk about this location because it's Coral Castle, man. And obviously Coral Castle is one of the POIs that got abducted in season 7, which it used to have buildings right there, some more temples. The biggest one remained for some reason. I don't know why the UFO wouldn't want to take the biggest one, but whatever. Just nothing much to say. That Coral Castle is just a very underwhelming POI. I will say it has good mats, and it has alright loot. I wouldn't say god loot, but it has really good mats. That's all I'll give it. But the rotation out of here is really annoying. You just got waterfalls. The only way out is like there and then over there if you want to get on land. Otherwise, you got to build up. You got to build up the waterfalls. It's kind of annoying. People shoot down from you, or shoot down on you from here. I guess they added that. I didn't even know that. I never went Coral. But I remember in season 3 when the map was all flooded, that was a good time, guys. There was a lot of POIs like I'm unable to talk about because they're all gone, but there's a lot of POIs in chapter 3 season 3 that were just good. Like you had the Fortilla, Rickety Rig, that whole flooded section over here where Sludgy is was amazing. You had Ocean and the bosses there. Oh, it was cool. It was really cool. And you know, I missed something by Steamy, and it was the yacht. The yacht used to be over there, and it had Meowsos, then changed to Deadpool, which the yacht was just a very, like, unpopular POI. I did not like the yacht. The fighting at the yacht was so annoying. Oh, no one likes the yacht. No one likes the yacht. It's a cool, unique POI, but no one liked the yacht. But Coral, uncool. I remember in season 3, the water drained. We were expecting Atlantis and Aquaman POI. Just everything not that at all. It just came out as this. And if they would have added like some type of, you know, NPC or boss here, I think everyone would have loved it. But it's just so underwhelming. This is all we got. It has some beautiful music, however. I think you guys heard it coming in and on. Yeah. As you can tell, how much I don't like Coral, as I switched the topic of talking about season 3, because season 3 and season 2 had some great POIs, like this one, season 2, the shark. It wasn't like the shark changed. And the shark was one of my favorite POIs in season 2 for sure. It started off as the mansion where Sky always was here, but Sky was her normal self, and she was in that mansion. Landing at the shark was cool. I always never, a lot of people landed in through the shark mouth. I always landed just on the opposite side, like over there. I'm not gonna go to the shark because it's all destroyed. It doesn't look pretty. But now it got changed into a jail style. Maybe I will go to the shark. Yeah, as you can see, the shark does not look the same right now. It got destroyed after the flooding in season 3. But the shark was such a fun POI. You had the mythic Scar and the mythic grappler here. Sky hosted them. I will say though, the frickin' henchmen here were aimbotters, man. They were aimbotters. Those things annihilated you in a second. Sky was a beam too. But bosses should be very hard to beat. This is just a very cool POI. I don't know when I picked up a shotgun, but this is just a very awesome. It was an awesome POI. And then you have the helicopter over there. Shark was just cool. Shark was cool. The fights here were, I don't remember. Oh no, it did. Yeah, the mansion did go down because, you know, you had to get into the shark somehow. The fights here were kind of crazy because, you know, it was just very open concept here, so you could just kind of like, they kind of kept the same with the jail. You can kind of just look down and see at the bottom, and then people running around. It was kind of cool. I like the layers. This was a very, I like when POIs have verticality to them, and that's why I want Tilted to come back, or just some type of city POI in Chapter 3, but the verticality was kind of made it fun to fight, and then a lot of people had some big build battles on the tip of the shark's nose. It was cool. It was a cool POI. Memories, man. Everyone, oh, I remember, okay, one thing before we leave here. There was a porta potty when they had the secret porta potty secret passage tunnels or whatever that went out right to that little fisherman's shack. So everyone would, that'd be a lot of people's escape getaway, and then people would just camp outside of it. And I remember if you went back inside of the, because that one was inside the vault, the other one, so you can't go inside the vault, back inside the vault from it. So people just went back inside the porta potty and just sat in there because when people were camping it, so they didn't die. Because then the porta potty was indestructible, so you couldn't break it. So people were just sitting inside of it forever until freaking stormed. And some people went as far as just to wait for that person to come out of it. It is just, that's some, I don't know why. I had experience, all right, and that just came back in my head. Yeah, I'll miss the shark, and I hope we have like a lot of cool POIs, like agency vibe, in Chapter 3, because this one was cool. And I hope we just have mythic bosses again and vaults. Season 2 and Season 3 were just good seasons for that. They were just such good, well-structured, planned-out seasons. Except for Coral Castle. Oh gosh, I forgot about sharks, man. I forgot about these boys. In Season 3, you can ride them. If I had a fishing pole, I'd ride it right now, but sharks are cool. Sharks are a cool addition. They're the first animals we had. Oh, sorry, Sharky. There's another one. Man, I haven't like seen sharks all season, and now I'm seeing them in battle lab. What's going on here? But here we come up to Sweaty, which, well, it's always Sweaty in my heart, okay? It's called Believer Beach now. It changed last season. It's still Sweaty in my heart. The only reason why it was called Believer Beach is because of all the alien party themed decorations. The shark's still mad at me? Okay. Sweaty, I had a turn of love, or I don't know what you call it, but I hated Sweaty in the beginning of the chapter. I hated Sweaty. I never landed here. I just did not like it. I don't know why. I don't know. Something about Sweaty. I hated fighting at Sweaty. The rooftops are very annoying to fight on. I don't know. I think it's just the building grid that really annoyed me. Wow, I'm so dumb. Annoyed me. The reason why I turned my love for it, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, honestly. It started happening after like it got flooded and reverted back to normal Sweaty. I couldn't tell you why. It just suddenly became a POI I started to like. And whenever I did land here, I'd always land those buildings. Yeah, it had a change. I had a change of heart for Sweaty, and it's still not my favorite. I could still tolerate it being gone on the map next season. I'm not gonna really miss it, but I kind of will miss the fights here. The fights here were kind of crazy, and I like crazy, guys. I don't know. I had some crazy fights for sure at Sweaty. Yeah, here we got the building that everyone lands on. You know, this is where mostly everybody drop whenever they come Sweaty, at the top. And, you know, if you didn't get the gun, you jump down, hit the umbrellas right there. Some people would wait at the bottom, destroy those umbrellas. Some people die to fall damage, or some people would just be stupid and bunny hop off the top and then die. There's some funny moments at Sweaty here, the hotel. Howie here was kind of the opposite for me. Where Sweaty, I said I went from hating it to loving it. I kind of went from loving to hating Howie. I think what really triggered the hatred was when they made this place into all of the anti-gravity nanite zones or whatever in Season 7. It made the POI really bad, and then they had like all the aliens walking around with ray guns and the trespassers, I think they're called. Kind of ruined the POI for me, but yeah, my love just kind of slowly started going away. I do like Howie still. I wouldn't say like I hate it. I like it more than Sweaty, that's for sure. But I don't know, I think I just started to realize more and more throughout the season that there isn't much loot here, and it's really small. Like, I thought that, like, I landed here a lot in season 1 and season 2. In the early season, I just landed here a lot. But now, like, yeah, coming and seeing, like, it now, right now, even, it's really small. It's really compact, which I do like to compact, but I don't know. It has to be it has to be verticality when it's compact. Not the greatest POI if you really look at it, but I always went to the middle house right here. It has 3 chests. You know, you just get. This is the house that would load you up right here. What the heck was that? I think that was the queen. But I do like how it I had some good fights here, some good memories. I think I hit one of my favorite trick shots here that still to this day is my favorite. It's in one of my, I think it's in my first video actually. You can go watch that montage of my trick shots. But yeah, Howie, I'm gonna miss it, that's for sure. But it just isn't a great POI. You know, it's just, if you really look at it, it's just some houses. There isn't really much unique things to it. Here we go to one of my all-time favorite landing drops. Like, I landed here a lot. This is Logjam or Durburger, whatever you want to call it now. It's Durburger dropped on top of it in season 5. It used to be a big building, but Logjam is just, you know, Logjam kept getting slowly more destroyed. Like by the UFO, it got destroyed more. This, like, I feel bad for Logjam because, you know, you get stacked on mats. I mean, just look at all the pallets here. Look at this place was great, and it was decent loot. Like, definitely couldn't bring like squads here for sure. Maybe a duo, but solos is just such a good landing spot for me. I don't know why. Like, I loved Logjam. It's so cool. And Durburger, when Durburger dropped down, I honestly wasn't mad because Durburger to me is one of my favorite characters in Fortnite, and I loved Greasy Grove in Chapter 1. So seeing the Durburger shot come back was just kind of nice. And then Beef Boss was an NPC in it. Oh, I loved it. And you know, remember if you guys wow, words. If you guys remember, they had the Quinjet land here, and then the UFO spawned here. So it was always a good POI for like any sort of, you know, loot, and especially with the Quinjet, it had, you know, the Stark rifles you can get and like all that. Then you had the UFO, so it had always these nice rotational or just good, you know, loadout weapons that you can get. Is just very nice. They always have nice little additions to Logjam. I think Logjam is one of Fortnite's personal little faves here. Yeah, I hope to have another POI like Logjam that gets you just stacked up. Maybe it won't even be on wood. Maybe it'll be like you can get stacked on metal. They'll have something that you can just destroy for lots of metal. I don't know, but Logjam, I'm gonna miss Logjam. I truly am. Logjam was fun. I loved Logjam. You know, here we have Weeping Woods. I wasn't a huge fan of Weeping, to be honest with you guys. It's very pretty. It's very pretty for sure. Like, just looking at this view right now, it just looks gorgeous. But I don't know, I just wasn't the biggest fan of Weeping. One, it didn't have a lot of loot. You know, loot's always a driving factor to land at places, but also it's just a very, whenever you have these trees, like in Whaling back in Chapter 1, whenever you just have trees, people always are like hiding somewhere, you know. There could be like 3 people around you, you wouldn't even know it because there's so much coverage and just shrubs and stuff where you can just not see someone. And that's kind of what made it annoying for me. Like, I'd come through here and all of a sudden just get beamed and couldn't even do anything about it. I remember at a point I always landed like that cabin over there. That was a nice little landing spot to me. If you didn't want to get, because everyone landed like at these main lodges, so if you wanted to kind of just escape from that and get a decent amount of loot, because there's like a little bunker inside over there, you can just land at that little cabin. It treats you well. It treated you well. But here we're at Sludgy. Well, I'm gonna still call it Slurpy. It's so Slurpy in my heart. You know, the giant factory here is gone. You can't really see it now, but I'm sure you guys remember the giant stack that went up on top of the factory, and people land at that, shoot down on people, fall off of it, die from fall damage. Good times. For some reason, I always landed right at this little building right here. It only had 1 chest, but you know, yeah, that chest right there. It's kind of in the center, so you can kind of just rotate wherever. Because if you landed over there, your friends landed over there, There's always people landing at Slurpy because of the awesome amount of shield that you can get. You can literally get full shield like any time. They don't have the water spouts anymore. That's kind of sad. And very little slurp barrels, so that's why they changed it to sludgy instead of Slurpy. But this place was great. Like, it was a great POI. I love Slurpy. Like, even like the whole swamp biome. Like, you have that got added last season is the UFO tower. But you have like the shanty town over here, which is a nice little POI for a lot of shield and some good loot. Got Flush Factory that got added back. Got Hydro 16, which I'll probably take a little visit to. Slurpy's a good location. It is one of the most popular for sure in this whole chapter. A lot of intense fights here. It's one of those POIs where the building grid isn't really great as well, especially with these buildings here. And yeah, that one too. That one's alright, but it was a fun POI. I'm gonna miss Slurpy. It kind of sucked when it got abducted, honestly. I never landed here ever again after it got abducted and there's just nothing left. Because there's no points to it. There's no... The driving factor of Slurpy was... It had a lot of chests, and you can get full shields no matter what time you came here. You can get full shields, and those two factors got taken away. Like, all the chests were inside of that building. You know, other little, like here and there, those other chests, they're just all gone. So there's no driving factor to come here anymore. Kind of coming full circle, as you guys could probably tell. I went to all the outside POIs first. But I wanted to save the best POI for last. I mean, it's not the last one I'll cover, but on the outside, I saved the best one for last. Because Misty... Whoa, what happened right there? Why is it destroyed like that? I didn't even come here. Interesting. But Misty... Wow. Misty is my personal favorite POI in the game. And I will full-heartedly say that it's my favorite POI. I mean, Grotto... You know, it comes very close, or, you know, it's not here anymore. When the shark was here, Steamy, Craigie, those are, like, amazing POIs, but in my, like, heart, Misty has my heart. It has my heart. I love Misty. This is gonna be the hardest one for me to say goodbye to. I love Misty, man. It's just so, I don't know, I couldn't tell you, the vibes here, the fighting here is fun. There's always people, there's great loot. I always landed this building right here. This was my main drop. I'd destroy that chest up there, you know, loot down, come down, get that chest. Move over to this house, which always had someone in it, like almost 99% of the time. Have the fight here. Wherever my friends are at, you know, I'll go across, you know, if they landed those buildings or on the other side. Just great fights. And like, I think the best part of it is just the bridge separation here. I don't know, it's just kind of it kind of divides Misty in a way, because it's funny, you either land that side or this side, and people just kind of, until they got done fighting on their side, then they kind of just cross paths at the bridge here and then moved over to the other sides eventually. It's kind of fun. And then, you know, people go hide underneath the bridge to kind of, as a way of escaping or hiding. Such a great POI. I love Misty. Please don't go. Please keep Misty next season. Please. Or chapter, sorry. Oh, I don't want to see it go, man. Like, here's another little fun thing. Like, oh yeah, you got the 2 ice coolers over there, so you can get, you got ice cooler in here too. There's a lot of ice coolers at this place, so you get a lot of fish. But yeah, there's this double loot spawn right here. I don't know how it happens, but that was only ammo that time. But usually you can get 2 guns or like shield. It's an awesome little spot right there. My friend always landed on that. Oh, I can't. Oh, Misty, please don't go. I guess I'll put, you know, one of my main rotations is that island over there with that house. In Season 2, that house became like double story, and it had a helicopter, had some henchman chests in it. That was a good time of that island, and I think something happened with it in Season 4 too, where it was great. I remember those gorgers, that's what they were called. Gorgers would spawn always over here by Misty. Oh, that was a good time for Misty to get the loot from those. And then you got the Spire Tower over there, which always rotated to that. Great POI, man. I can't. Misty, please, no. I don't want Misty to go. And then, yeah, look how close Misty is to Lazy as well. That's just... Oh, Misty, please. Please, please, please. I need you next chapter. I really do. It's gonna be sad. Here we come into probably the most popular POI of Chapter 2. It's kind of like the downgraded version of Tilted. It's definitely not Tilted in any means, yeah, any shape or form, but it's the closest we can get in this chapter. You know, Lazy has like some verticality, but it's just very spread out. That's the thing about it. It has amazing loot. Fights here were fun. Fights here were very fun. It's almost 100% of the time the fights happen in either this building or this building right here. Not so much that building. It's always these two buildings for me. I don't know why. Probably because I always landed this building, so that's why there's a lot of fights for me. But always, always, always that building. And it was kind of fun because you never know what layer. That's why I like the verticality. You never know what layer they're on, so it kind of just makes for a more intense kind of fight. And then if you figure out, you kind of just drop on them if you can find some like secret ways in. Like there's a lot of windows in this building, so you can just like go into different windows, pop on them, and it was fun. And then this this house right here, mansion, whatever, a lot of loot, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people landed this mansion. It has like 5 stories because it has a basement and stuff with like a parking lot. Yeah, it's just very good POI, and I think Lazy has a chance of coming back in the next chapter. Like I could see Lazy, or I could see Lazy fitting in with the chapter 3 map. I don't know what a chapter 3 map looks like, but I could see it making its return if they have old locations return. But yeah, Lazy definitely the most popular and the most loved by lots of people. You never landed Lazy and never had a fight here. It's always constantly packed, and I don't think Lazy had much changes at all throughout the whole season. I think it's remained the same. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, you got those 2 houses over there as well, where they have a bunker connecting them, and that kind of made for an annoying little fight. But it was kind of fun. You never know, you know, people go in the bunker, they come outside that house, or vice versa, you know, people hide down there. Lazy was good. Lazy was good. Oh, you know what? I don't think the sweat insurance building was here in the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure no sweat insurance came during season 3 as the water was like lowering. So that was a change to Lazy, I guess. And then the gas station, of course, as well. Most of the gas stations are all new because of when they added the cars. Lazy's a great location. It's definitely a location I've had lots of fights at, and I think everyone could say the same. It's kind of the iconic staple location of Chapter 2. I think a lot of people will be talking about it after its disappearance, and I mean, it could return. I'm not going to say it won't, but it's highly likely it won't. But great POI, great POI. Lots of memories, lots of good fights. Oh man, jumping off that waterfall for the last time. Oh man, I forgot about the waterfall, to be completely honest with you. That'll probably be the last time I'll be doing that. This little area location POI, I don't know what you call it, right here is kind of, you know, a unique POI in itself. It's has like no loot at all, but just the fights here are just kind of unique, and all the memes of people like, you know, building and stopping the jumping when they die to fall damage, and oh, that was fun. And the fights on there were kind of freaking fun as well. You know, people are always trying to break each other down, and so they die to fall damage because it's such a thin little river. The chances of people landing in water is unlikely. Oh man, it's a lot of memes here, a lot of memes. Good times. But yeah, sadly, I think that'll be the last time I'll be jumping off that waterfall, which, you know, I don't think it'll be the last time I will be jumping off any sort of waterfall, because I guarantee there'll probably be some sort of waterfall location next chapter, so I'm gonna miss jumping off that one in particular, but I'll be jumping off more waterfalls for sure. I'm almost gonna guarantee there'll be another waterfall of some sorts. But yeah, you guys remember this came in season 3, when this used to be a giant water bowl right here, and like the waterfall wasn't even there in season 3. It was flooded, and there was like a whirlpool. But that came in season 3. It used to just be a rickety little bridge, and that the fights on there were annoying because that's when people really started like trying to break you down and did memes and stuff. That was fun. See, that's the reason why I saved the middle of the map for last, is because it's the part of the map that changed the most. This part right here, Boney, has changed quite a bit. It's remained Salty Springs was a returning location from Chapter 1, and that was a favorite drop of lots. And then it changed to Salty Towers in Season 5, where the sand came and parts of Tilted came back, but it still wasn't tilted. It was still not tilted. And then it kind of got destroyed in Season 6 and turned into this Boney Verbs. And as you can see, they kind of just like built makeshift bridges and platforms around like towers and stuff, making it all tribal and primal theme, which, you know, fit the season at the time. And it kind of stuck, you know, Boney kind of stuck around until the end here. And I like Boney. I don't know. I didn't like Salty Towers. I love Salty Springs, even though Salty didn't have the greatest amount of loot, but it's just a staple to Fortnite. But Boney is just kind of, it's kind of nice. It has quite a bit of loot. The fighting here, the building grid is kind of bad though. I will say that, like, fighting here with those platforms, you can't build in a lot of areas. But I still did like fighting here. It was fun. Because you know, a lot of people travel through here. It's in the middle of the map. It's just a POI. You know, you come from Pleasant, you come to Boney, get the Slurp trucks, or come from the middle of the map to here. It's always like a POI you pass through, coming from Sweaty, Believer, whatever. So I had a lot of fights here and a lot of good memories, and I'll miss it. I'll miss Boney. It's nothing much to say about it because it hasn't been with us for a while, but it is nice. It is a nice little touch, and I like the way they redesigned Salty and Tilted after it got, you know, destroyed. Good old Risky Reels. I mean, Risky Reels has been with us again, another Chapter 1 POI, but it does not look the same at all compared to the Chapter 1 version. But it's still Risky Reels in terms of spirit. It kind of has like the same layout. It's just the buildings and the structures look a lot different. Like, we didn't have that. That house looked way different. There was like a super long barn on one side. There's not that here. But the idea is here, and it's risky in its heart. Risky's always a location that everyone drops. It's in the middle of the map. They did place it really nicely. Risky used to be on the way outskirts of the map of Chapter 1, but yeah, Risky's just nice. It's just a nice little POI. It's always been popular. It's always been, you know, the place to go after, you know, lots of fights, or just even just dropping here. It's just a good little POI. I always landed either, if I had the chance, I would land at these buildings, but I'd always land that RV in that little shack. There's just two nice little chests next to each other. It's just mwah, good spot. But I'll miss Risky. I don't see it coming back. Maybe some type of like movie theater. Maybe some version of Risky will come back, but I don't think that we'll see that Risky again, sadly. But here we run up on a POI that's changed drastically as well. Started off as Frenzy Farm. Frenzy Farm was very similar to Anarchy Acres and Fatal Fields, like combined, like from Chapter 1. It was a nice, they had a big house, a giant house in the middle, or like kind of like where I'm standing almost, I don't know, somewhere like right here. A giant house. Everyone went to that house. You know, you had the typical barns and shacks and sheds around and fields. But what season was it? Was it Season 3? Yeah, Season 3 it became flooded. It went back slowly to Frenzy, but Season 4 came along and Stark Industries got placed on top of it, which, oh boy, that POI was, you know, a close runner-up to Misty has got to be Stark Industries. That POI was fun. That was a great POI. You get the mythics of the superhero mythics of Iron Man, the Unibeam, and the repulsors. God tier. The loot that just spawned there in the crates and the henchman chests, or whatever you want to call them, is like pumps and, you know, Stark rifles. So you're getting stacked. You go and you get the vault key card. You're gonna get stacked. It is just a fun POI to fight at. Like, it was open, but it had some like very like big structures, so it was a great POI. And then just apart from Stark Industries, you just had like the whole like area around where you can go find his like cabin house or whatever next to the, I think it's called Heart Lake or something. I don't know. I can't remember quite off the top of my head, but keep in mind this POI was raised above, like super high off the ground, so it was super unique. It was just a giant circle placed on our map that was like raised above, you know, the main Fortnite land, and shooting down on other POIs, especially Risky. Risky got the worst deal of it. Same with Steamy. That was fun. That was good times, and you know, a lot of people would go up on top of Stark Industries to escape, or like find ways to jump off to escape fights. It was a great time of Fortnite. Season 2 and Season 4. Season 2 is my favorite season. Season 4 is the runner-up in second place for sure. But here, it went to Colossal Coliseum in Season 5 when Stark Industries got wiped away. The Galactus event, you know, it brought the 0 points, spread the desert biome all over, kinda. Became the Coliseum here, and the Coliseum was, you know, it was unique. It obviously was unique. There was nothing like that. A lot of unique POIs again in this season. It had indestructible walls, giant indestructible walls. You can go in the middle. It had like, you know, it's very open. I mean, unless you went like underneath the stands and the bleachers or whatever, and then it was kind of, you know, closed in. But it was cool. I liked kind of the Coliseum. It was very annoying when people sit on top of it and you're on the outside of it, but being like on the inside and actually fighting inside the Coliseum was very fun. But when you're on the outside of the Coliseum, it made for your bad day. Like everyone was on top of it. You know, if that was in the end game, the last circle, it would be chaos because everyone would be up on top of the walls because those walls are indestructible. But again, Colossal Coliseum got turned into Colossal Crops in Season 6 when the Primal season came around, which was the Coliseum just kind of like, when it got destroyed, just kind of like reused and revamped into like housing for the farm people, I guess you would say. It had like, similar to Corny Crops here, it had like, you know, a bunch of plants and crops and barns and stuff, just in a more primal kind of like Bony Burb style. That I did not really like Colossal Crops. I think they just needed kind of something to do with this Coliseum because they didn't want it to stick around, so they kind of just did that. And it wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest POI in the world. Not much loot. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan. But then Season 7, Corny Crops. Had the IO base, the annoying IO base that was right here actually, and the giant barn covering it up. It had the UO. I had a very love-hate relationship with Corny. There was a point where I did land at it all the time because, one, I was just trying to do a meme, and it made for good memes around there. It was just such a highly, you know, populated spot, landing spot. Just because of like the IO base, you can get stacked and swooned. Even though her pulse rifle was kind of bad, but you know, you can get the railguns very easily. Like that house was here, and it still remains very, very tall and in shape. But, and then same with that barn. But, and then the POI got abducted by the mothership, and that's what led to the event, blew it up, and now we have the Corny Crops we have today, where it's just a bunch of holes and pretty much these two buildings left. And then I guess the barn over there. But yeah, it had a lot of changes here, lots of changes. That's for sure. And it's kind of, I can't say I'm gonna miss the spot because it never remained one spot for a while. The only part of this map I'll miss is Stark Industries, and that was my favorite time of this area being destroyed or turned into a different POI. Like that was just awesome. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Corny and Colossal and cool POIs, but it changed too much where I can't just like be in love with like one. But Stark Industries does have my heart, I'd say. And then we get to the point of the map that changed the most, even from Season 1. Season 1, we just had a little island. This was completely different now. It's just Yeah, it does not look anywhere near how it did in season one. There used to be water, you know, like a big lake, and it had an island in the middle. It just had some houses and lodges and cabins on it. It wasn't that like amazing. No one really landed there. Season two came around though, and Midas, you know, season two being the like best season, Midas had his main headquarters organization in the middle called the Agency. Agency was goated. Agency was oh. If you wanted Tilted Tower vibes, I would say the Agency did that. Like it was only one building, but it was super nice and tall. It just had the verticality. The fights in it were fun. You know, you had Midas's drum gun if you got him. Um, oh man, it was Agency's great. And then the vault, a lot of people, a lot of heavy traffic going through there. A lot of people going, landing there and just rotating through there. It was constantly always fought at, and it was great. It was great. And then you had the vault. Lots of memes done there. You can hide in those little vents. Great POI, the Agency. Then it kind of got changed in season 3 to the Authority, where they put up giant walls around the which was then called the Authority, which turned black instead of white. The Agency was like a white building, then it became a black building, which Authority was a bit taller than the Agency. And yeah, then it had those giant walls along the outside of it, protecting it from the water from flooding it. The Authority just didn't hit the same as the Agency did. I don't know. I can't tell you why. It's probably just because I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. It was the Authority was bigger, but it just didn't have what the Agency, the specialness that the Agency brought. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why it is, and I think everyone can say the same. But yeah, it went from the Authority, and then it went to the Runes for a little bit, where Midas made his return as like Ghost Midas, and you can get the drum again, and the Ghost. That was kind of just like a Halloween specialty for the middle of the map. That was in season 4. That was a nice little time, I guess, and you had the Ghost going around the map, and that was interesting. That was the best Fortnite mirrors ever. Oh, yeah. Then obviously Galactus came. He ripped the 0 point out of the middle. The 0 point started floating, kind of like where she is right now is kind of where the 0 point was. Hey, maybe I'm just making a connection right now, but she's the 0 point. I'm kidding. Kind of was just a very lackluster POI. It wasn't even a POI. It was just the 0 point floating in the middle. I mean, you had the Butter Barn. Oh, the Butter Barn. Don't even get me started on the Butter Barn. Butter Barn. I'm gonna miss the Butter Barn. I already miss it. Butter Barn came back in the Mothership minigame thing in season 7. That made me happy, but when Butterbarn was gone, I was such a sad boy, and I hope Butterbarn makes a return somehow. But yeah, we had Butterbarn. That was it. That was the closest thing to the middle of the map, and yeah, season 5 was very, very bad for the middle of the map. Season 6 came along, however, and when they had the live event, the Spire rose up, protecting the 0 point from, you know, imploding or whatever. And Spire was alright. It wasn't my favorite time in the middle of the map, but it was just a giant tower that went up, had zip lines going all around, and a bunch of those style buildings everywhere. It was very like hilly. It was very hilly and like I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't the greatest, but it was unique. I liked it. I liked it though. And being on top of the spire, shooting the bows down at everybody, that was a fun time. If you got up there, you're dominating. You're dominating. And it had good loot. Had the bosses, the mythic recycler, the mythic bow, explosive bow. I think the mythic shotgun at one point. It had its good stuff. You know, it had its perks, but it had a lot of cons. A lot of people didn't like the Spire. I did though. I did. Then season 7, the 0 point Spire got destroyed, and it just was a giant hole for the whole thing. Just a giant hole. A hole filled with water, had a purple around it. That was it. That's all I can say. It was boring. Nothing. Literally nothing there. Then this season, season 8, all the cubes made their way from their crash sites all the way into the middle of the map to what we see now, into this convergence. And it was called the convergence at first because it was just like this purple part, and it didn't have the pyramid yet. And that was, I love this place. I love this place. And then it changed slowly into the pyramid. This place is awesome. This is a great POI. I love it. I don't know why. A lot of people probably don't because there's like no mats, but it's fun to fight in. It's just very unique. The pyramid just looks sick. But gotta say, all-time favorite part of the map was the agency, or time of this map was the agency. The agency, nothing beats it. Season 2 is just god tier. Oh, I can go on. I can keep going on, but this video will be forever. And this video already is long, so yeah, we'll see what the pyramid does and how the queen destroys the map. I guess this is where it's going down. Actually, it's going down at this like little, like, I don't know, base kind of they're setting up. You probably saw it when I was at Pleasant, but that's where we're supposed to land for the event, I guess. We'll see what that's all about, but I'm gonna miss chapter 2, guys. I'm really gonna miss it. It had a lot of memories, and it was kind of special for me because it started my YouTube channel. I mean, I'm an OG player from Season 1, Chapter 1, Season 0, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't do YouTube until this chapter. I started at late Season 1, and then I just kind of continuously progressed my career. Season 4 was probably my best growth in popularity for my channel. But I don't really care. It's just I can go back and look at those videos and just revisit all the memories, and it's just nice. And I don't know, it's just special to my heart. This map, this chapter, all of the content and the POIs that came in this map, which the main POIs didn't change much. The middle changed a lot, but like the outskirts, we didn't see much, and I kind of like that, because if they would have changed Misty, I would have been very sad. But yeah, although it wasn't drastically like chaotic like chapter 1, I think it was still done right, and it made for a very fun time. And you know, it's kind of hard not to like choke up on this, man. It was good. Take these last couple of days and really enjoy it, guys. Really enjoy it. It's been a good time, and thank you guys for all supporting me along my career and watching me throughout chapter 2. But it's gonna be a new launch, fresh content in chapter 3. So much to love and learn and make new memories, and that's what it's all about. It's about time we have a new map, in my opinion. Like, this map was great, but I do think a new map is much needed with fresh content. And that'll only help my career, hopefully. I'm going to do my best to make the best YouTube videos for you guys and continue to be on that grind. And if this chick keeps blowing her horn, I'm going to absolutely smoke you. But yeah, thank you guys for everything. You guys help me continue this journey and go along in this journey to where I am today, and you guys are awesome. But I think I'm going to roll a montage of just, you know, going over the map in like a cinematic form, and I'm going to say my goodbyes now, and I'll see you guys at the event. I'm probably going to be posting a bunch of just random content clips that I had throughout the whole chapter that I never put in a video. So if you guys see a bunch of random videos come up, it's just because it's old content that I never got to put out. But this is my last recorded video at this point, a couple days away from the season. I'll see you guys at the live event and in chapter 3.